Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome Thursday. So I wanted to hop on here really quick this morning. Actually, it's afternoon for some of you guys. It's almost afternoon for me in Central Time. But I want to hop on here really quick so that I could talk to you about a few tips that I will be discussing next week in more detail. So if you're hopping on live, welcome. Happy to have you. If you are on live and you want to communicate, ask any questions below, feel free to use the comment section. And if you are listening to this later on in the day as a recorded video, please feel free to tag me in the comments below if you have questions, anything at all that you would like to add, and I will respond to you when I can get to you. So here is what I want to talk to you today about: raising kids in an overscheduled world. How do we raise our kids healthy? It's really probably no surprise to you to know that we are living in a society that's overweight and inactive. Unfortunately, we are a fantastic country in general, but our health is declining and declining quickly. And I'm not at all here to tell you today that it's easy, that it doesn't take effort to raise kids healthy. I know it's tough. It can be difficult at times for sure. We are working. A lot of us are working full time. Personally, I'm an entrepreneur. My husband's an entrepreneur. We have 3 young kids. There are lots of balls in the air that we are trying to juggle. We're not alone, and I get that. And that's why I wanted to bring some of these tips to you, because it is so important for us to understand how to reach our kids and how to teach our kids to change that cycle. Because if we don't change that cycle, what's going to happen is our kids are going to do whatever it is we are doing. So if we come home from work and we veg out the TV because it seems easy and it seems like the way that we want to decompress, that's what our kids are going to want to do. If we aren't active throughout our day, then that's what our kids are going to want to do. They want to dress like us. They want to eat like us. They want to do everything like us because we are their role models. And so how do we become the best role models that we can be? Now, is it easy? Not necessarily, but it doesn't take a whole lot of effort either. Just a few little tweaks in your routine and in your schedule, and you can make a huge impact in those little guys that you are raising right now. Whether they are small children or they're teenagers, you can still make an impact in their life. And so I have 2 quick tips for you today. And the first is meal planning. And I know, I could almost hear some of you like, oh, meal planning. Don't say that word. I hate that word. It's hard. I can't do it. It takes too much time, etc. I understand. I get that. But I'm not talking about meal planning in the sense that you have to know what you're going to eat every single day, every single meal. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about meal planning where you can make it fun for the entire family. So it's not a chore. It's not an extra to-do list on your personal plate, but it's actually a family activity. And so you can make this a family activity if you meal plan weekly or you meal plan monthly. I know I have a lot of clients who like to do monthly meal planning. That works for them, and that's awesome. But if that doesn't work for you and you want to do weekly meal planning, then I'm going to teach you how to do weekly meal planning that involves the entire family, that your kids can help you do. That's not only just prepping the meals, but it's going to the grocery store and giving them jobs, giving them tasks that they can do. So 1, you can think a little bit more clear that they're not reaching for everything in the grocery store, right? And 2, that they feel that they're there for a reason. There's a purpose for them to be there with you in that grocery store. You're going to assign them specific tasks. And so that's just a little piece of what I'll talk about in meal planning again next week. But the other tip that I have for you today is scheduling activities. So again, we are all very inactive as a society. We need to increase our active moments throughout our day. How do we do that? We have to schedule them. And I'm talking scheduling things like you would. I know I have some ladies on live right now. I know some of you ladies schedule hair appointments. You schedule nail appointments. You schedule lunch, out to lunch with friends. You schedule girl nights, right? We schedule these things because if we don't schedule them, what happens? They don't happen. Because I can probably name 10 friends that I would love to get together with right now that I haven't seen in months because we haven't scheduled it. So scheduling activities as a family is super important. And so you can do this very different ways, but I will go into more detail with it next week. But what I want to tell you today about scheduling activities is to sit down with your family and make a list of 5 things that you all like to do together. Maybe those are outdoor activities. Maybe those are going to an indoor trampoline park. It doesn't have to be anything that costs money. Maybe that's just riding bikes through in the neighborhood, whatever that is. Make a list of 5 of them. Once you make a list of 5 of those, then put them on your calendar. Decide when you are going to actually do those activities. So maybe that's every Sunday afternoon, you have a family activity today. Maybe it's during the week, it's the time that you would typically sit down in front of the TV to decompress, but instead you're going to go outside and you're going to play a game of kickball with your kids to get outside and get moving instead of sitting in front of that TV. So your 2 homework assignments today are to start thinking about fun ways to meal plan and to schedule activities as a family so that you can do those activities together. So